All right, so before I get started with the video, I just wanted to say 87% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you like this content I'm putting out and you like these kind of videos, feel free to subscribe. It really means a lot and it helps the channel so much. Okay, so I'm sure that most of you guys know at this point that Conor McGregor was put to sleep the other day by David Poirier, I think that's how you say his name. And Jake Paul is fighting this guy named Ben Askren. And if you don't know who Ben Askren is, he's a retired UFC fighter who was able to retire at 20-2. And one of those losses, though, was a 5-second knockout to this one really good UFC fighter. So I haven't watched his fights yet. I don't know how good he's going to be. But just seeing that, I'm kind of assuming that, it's actually going to be a close fight between Paul and Askren, knowing that, Askren's this guy who's retired. He hasn't been fighting much, so he's going to be a little rusty, like how McGregor was rusty. And on the other hand, you have Paul, who's, just been training and training and training. Literally, he just parties and trains. That's all he does, right? The dude is a machine. Love him or hate him. And I think that this will be a very fun and entertaining fight. And I kind of want to see Jake Paul win. I want to see him go up against bigger guys, and I think that he's a genuinely talented fighter. So anyways, though, the whole point of this video is to discuss, will Paul still end up fighting McGregor? And I think yes, and I'm going to explain why. All right, so I'm sure what most of you guys have heard what Keemstar said about this yesterday. But if you haven't, I'm just going to quickly play the clip.
So listen, guys, now my opinion has completely changed. I think so many people are clowning on Conor McGregor for getting knocked out and saying that now he's going to have to fight Jake Paul. Now I think it's going to be really embarrassing if Conor actually does fight Jake Paul. So now I'm here to tell you that this fight's never going to happen because it would just be too embarrassing for Conor McGregor.
All right, so a very simple reason why I think that this Paul McGregor fight still is going to happen just after this Paul Askren fight is money. Think about all the money that McGregor would get, because if McGregor kind of takes an easy fight for his next UFC fight, right, that way he can go into this Paul fight having had a win. Paul beats Askren, and you pretty much have this narrative of, hey, is McGregor's redeeming himself? Jake Paul is rising. Is Jake Paul at the level of a guy like Conor McGregor? And by that point, he's not going to be getting clowned as much for fighting Jake Paul if Paul beats Askren and if McGregor wins the next fight that he takes, because he's going to take another fight. He's not going to end on a note like this, right? And I think that at the end of the day, a fight between Jake Paul and Conor McGregor could be really good because Paul is just getting better and better. And no offense to McGregor, it seems like he's starting to get worse. He's starting to slow down. So you're seeing the notorious Conor McGregor slowing down up against this rising star Jake Paul. So I think if it was McGregor in his prime, it wouldn't have been close. But this isn't prime Conor McGregor. This is the lowest tier Conor McGregor at this point. And if he gets into better shape, I'm sure that he'd be better than he currently is, and then better than he looked against Poirier or however the hell you say his name. But at this very moment, pitting Paul against McGregor the way they are now, assuming that McGregor will probably stay the way he is or maybe get a little bit better while Jake Paul's just going to get better, I think it would be a pretty good-ass fight. I think if it was MMA, McGregor would win. But if it's going to be boxing, which is Jake Paul's realm, the only other time that McGregor went down to that realm was to fight Floyd Mayweather. So he's not as experienced with boxing. And I think it would be a much more entertaining fight than a lot of people had thought. But this is all just assuming that Paul is good enough to beat a guy like Ben Askren. If he's not good enough to beat a guy like Ben Askren, then there's just absolutely no chance for the guy to fight McGregor. All right, because if McGregor would not take the fight if Paul loses, because we know McGregor's better than a guy like Askren. All right, so I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please smash the like button because it really helps the video and it really helps the channel grow. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.